let's talk about Swadley in Romano State Park. And I'm going to ask you to be patient with me uh, and stay to the end of this video where I'm going to put up some stats from 2019 and uh, and show you uh, what I'm talking about. So let's start off with a little bit about me, so you know that what I'm talking about, and I'm going to present to you, has got some validity. I'm just not making some of this stuff up. I've got some credentials, so let's go through that. So if you're a part of a full moon hike in 2019 or 2020, that was me. That was my program. I originally got it started. The conception of it came in late 2018 when I was doing guided hikes out here as just a part-time employee. And somebody suggested about going out to see the lunar eclipse in January, and that's where the guided hikes, night hikes, started, and we developed it from there. And it actually was in its day the biggest rock star hit that the park had had in 50 years, and I was a part of that. So if you were on a full moon hike, good chance I was the guy that was out there with you. If in 2019, 2020, some of 2018 as well, I was like, if you were lost, injured, or just needing some assistance out on the trail system, that was likely me coming to get you. Uh, and I assisted and rescued. And I was part of 44 in helping 44 people out on the trail systems, including no, I'm sorry, three uh, 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 basket rescues where we had to load somebody up in a basket and get them off the trail system. The If you in those years, if you were saw an old guy driving around in a John Deere Gator and he answered your questions, uh, the helped you find a camping spot, or jumped your dead battery on Sunday because so you could get home, good chance that was me, and most likely it was. If you learned something about the parks while you were here, this park, like the history, the geology, the plants and animals, it was, and somebody, and you got to see artifacts, hold artifacts, that was likely me. If you were here on a scouting trip and I made a personal trip to your scout camp, I would bring uh, I'd bring these artifacts and do a demonstration, and we would talk about these things. Uh, that was me. If you learned what an atlatl was, and you got to throw an atlatl for the first time, maybe the only time in your life, that there was only one other person before me that was doing that, and I was the last one to do that with anybody. That was me. I was search and rescue trained and certified through NASAR, National Search and Rescue Volunteer Group. And so I wasn't just some novice running around in the woods looking for lost people. I was also a fishing instructor through the Department of Wildlife. I had the certifications for that. And I maintained and kept the fishing poles and the fishing equipment so that anybody coming in and wanting to learn to fish, we had the resources. There was three of us that were trained in that course and were certified to do it. And I was also a state certified archery instructor, and but we didn't have the equipment here. But that was why I that was part of the atlatl, the primitive spear uh, equipment that we had. So this was me. That was me in 2019, most of 2020. We did have the COVID and everything like that, and up until 2021 when I quit the park. So that's my some of my credentials and everything. So the things I'm going to say about Swadley and the park, I got credentials on. So let's take a break. So let's do some background. Um, Romano State Park was the very first location that Swadley's moved into, and so that was the lodge that's up the hill from me right here. The I by circumstances I was there day one, the day that it happened, and I was there for a meeting about upcoming powwow with the Romanos family. A whole battalion of people, contractors, and everybody just mobbed right on into the lodge, and we had no idea what was going on. Eventually, a lodge employee came in and spoke to then the park manager, and he turned to me and said, "You got to take the meeting. We got a situation going on here." So, yeah, oh, okay. Didn't know what it was. Well, it was Swadley's, and the Mr. Fake It Until You Make It guy, everything. So he came in and was just a bull in a china shop at the lodge. He had his crews, and the was no one knew what was going on. The manager then had to make some phone calls, find out what was going on. He didn't even have a heads up that this was going to happen, or who this crew was. And so from that point forward, we had quite the extensive remodeling and construction period going on. And it was very disruptive, let me just put it like that. Uh, the uh, Out of the blue, park employees found out that they were going to lose their job or start working with Swadley. He turned the lodge open floor plan uh, and to a Swadley's barbecue place. He erected the great, what I call the Great Wall of Swadley in there, disrupting the open floor plan. He isolated the fireplace that was there, the iconic fireplace that was in that lodge, just exclusively for his customers, and he isolated the patio area that's just outside the area, and he took over the what was the Romano's room, the biggest banquet room in the lodge. It's not a big lodge, and took down all the historic photos, and which I guess just recently well, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, they're rediscovered and hung up again. It was all about Swadley. The So, well, once again, when I'm talking about Swadley, I'm talking about firsthand experience and what the impact was at the park. I got to see the whole process from the beginning to when they were taking down the signs on the building there, and the sudden uh, him and his business were removed from all these parks. I got to see it from day one to the day last, and so uh, once again, the I am talking from firsthand experience. I'm not making this up. So let's talk about legacy and impact. And we got to start out what it was like before Swadley and where we're at right now in the park, because this isn't about me. It's about uh, the taxpayers, the residents of Blaine County, Watauga, Oklahoma, in general, visitors from everywhere, wherever you come from. So the this might sound a little bit petty, but it's not. The day that Swadley showed up, uh, we had a restaurant. We had a general store and that general store was blowing and going, and it had been basically resurrected from the ashes, and it was a viable alibi. It was making money. Uh, it was doing a little bit better than covering expenses. It didn't need any state subsidies like Swadley's did, Foggy Bottom, when it came in. We had 2 lakes. We had equestrian riding. We had we actually had probably the only place in the state of Oklahoma where the equestrians and the mountain bikers were not only getting along, they were cooperating with each other on projects, trail maintenance, and the whole bit. The just 2017, I think it was, after 10 years or more, the fireworks, 4th of July came back, fireworks came back to the park. Uh, it's, yeah, they still have it right now and everything. We reestablished a powwow ground out here, and you can still see the sign that says Wakini event area, because we couldn't call it a powwow area. That was too exclusive. We needed a name that was more inclusive. Um, as far as I know, there's only been one powwow down there since then. Um, the uh, we had park visitation was way up. And again, we had multiple programs going on. Uh, the uh, I, I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over everything, but visitation to the park was like at record levels. It hadn't been like that for years, and I think that was from customer service offering these programs so that there was things for kids and families to do. I know that the full moon hikes were specifically bringing in lodge customers and camping because people needed to stay overnight. They also needed a place to eat. So where are we at right now post Swadley conviction yesterday? If, or whenever you're watching this video and everything like that. Roanoke State Park has 0 lakes, 0 programs, 0 restaurants. The There's some mess going on with the general store. I'm no longer involved with the general store or anything like that. I don't know. They're behind the scenes. I just hear rumors and I hear what people are saying, and the state is not going to make it easy for them. And also, think for yourself. This isn't about me. This is about you and your park, Roanoke State Park. What private business in their right mind is going to take over a restaurant where the 2 previous operators have ended up in lawsuits with the state of Oklahoma? That's where we were and where we're at right now. So what can we do now? One of the things we can tell you right now what not to do is none of these people out here, they're running around in these pickups and everything like that, picking up the trash, running the mowers, sitting in the offices, have anything to say about any of this. So give them a break and give them some support. Give them some love, because they're not in the easiest position. I know that from firsthand experience. Because I 20 January 31, 2021, I had to quit my job because of all this mess right here. That's why you don't have these programs going on right now. If I stuck around any longer than what I did, I was already being minimized and fractionalized down to nothing. Uh, the next thing was either they weren't going to renew my contract, or I was gonna they're gonna come up with something to fire me over and everything. And I challenge the state to say something different and all this stuff. I know how it works. I did 28 years in the oil field. I know the signs, I know the rhetoric, and I know the behavior and everything. That was going to be the end result, because I was a legacy of pre-Swadley, and we couldn't have that, and or they couldn't have that. Okay, so the so what can be done? The I'm doing what I can right now. Information is important. Now I can be dismissed as a disgruntled former employee, and they wouldn't be incorrect saying that about me, but I'm disgruntled for a reason. And what happened to me, I believe, here at the park was criminal. I wish I could prove that I can't. So it's an election year. Uh, Fire up these politicians, and especially here, folks here in Watauga and Blaine County, and people across the state that love this park. And there's a lot of us that do. And a lot of this park's been around since the 1930s, and a lot of people they grew up coming to this park. And you guys can get a hold of your politicians, get a hold of them on their social media, put up your own videos like what I'm doing. Social awareness on social media is powerful. It is effective, and the folks in Oklahoma City don't like it. So watch them try to shut this down. I got a plan for that too. Uh, so it's an election year, and it's social media. Uh, Use it. It's effective. So let's have a conclusion here. This is the message that I want to give you, and I want to leave you with. This is your park. They manage it for you. This is your resource. This is a publicly owned taxpayer supported entity, and you got to. They need to listen to you. Let's put an end to this Swadley era. Let's put an end to the incompetence. Yes, incompetence. Let's put an end to the mediocrity, because that's what's ruling the park and the park system. And there is a chance that this park will rock again, but it's going to take you, and they think you're stupid, and they thought I was stupid too, and so don't want you to get angry. I want you to get effective, and the and together I think we can change all of this. Now, stay tuned. If you stuck with me this long, I'm going to scroll through stats from 2019, and let's see what it was like before. You know what it's like now. All right, thank you for sticking with me, and let's make this thing get better and be kind to one another.